Hello, Thomas 481 here. You can call me Thomas. It is Monday, March the 24th. Here we are. Good weigh-in this morning. I'll get to that right away. Down 7 pounds from last week. So, as of this morning, it was 450, 459, 460. I went to 460. I rounded it up to 460. I'm not going to round down because, you know what? If I have a mediocre week, I'm going to need those lesser ones. So I'll take it. So where am I? Well, the former lady in my life left 4.5 weeks ago, somewhere in that range. I weighed myself about 4, 5, 6 days after she left. And this was after going 3 days without eating or sleeping or blah, blah, blah. So I was 481. So basically in a month, I weighed myself on February the 23rd, and it was 481 point something or other. And yeah, so here we are about a month later, 460. So still big numbers, obviously. But you know what? They're less. 21 pounds less, if I were going to be exact. And at my peak, at my worst last year, I want to say November. I have to dig through my archive pictures and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it was November. I was at 509. So, closing in on 50, less than that. Do I feel different? I feel a bit different, I guess. I still can't stand or walk for very long. My knees are still super weak. I don't have much pain as much as I did last week. There's still pain. I actually have to set a little alarm thing on my phone to beep every 15 minutes or so just to tell me to get up and walk around, because if I stay in one position for too long, it hurts a lot. So, I do that. I guess that's what we do in life, right? Is we adjust. What else? Let's see. I haven't done much exercise. I've done a little bit of walking every day. Weight Watchers has been easy for me anyway. It was last week. I had little kids here, and their folks were in Mexico, so the ex was asked to bring over supper one night for them, and of course brought over takeout pizza. I actually had 2 slices on Tuesday and 2 on Wednesday. Counted them. I rounded them up. I went online and found the average takeout Pizza Hut place, and it was 9 or 8 or whatever. And I put them down as 11 because I don't know. Who knows how these local places make it? But you know what? Sorry for that. I lost some weight, and I lost a fair bit of weight. To be honest, 7 pounds is something. I want to keep losing though. I don't want to. I'm too fragile to have a plateau and sit at the same weight now for a month or something like that. I can't do that. So this week back to walking, trying to anyway. It's still winter here, man. Let's see. Oh, last week I went. Let's see. I haven't driven a car in 20 years, almost to the day actually. It's almost to the week at least. Had a little fender bender and just kind of let my license lapse. Never bothered to renew it. And so, yeah, 20 years has passed. So last week, at the prompting of my buddy Rod, I went and got my learner's license, just like a 14-year-old. Passed it perfectly. You have to get 25 out of 30, and I got 25 out of 25, and the exam stopped. So, yay. So passed that, passed the eye exam, which was a little iffy, I thought, but nope. Passed that too. Got the little provisional thing on my license that says must wear lenses, but I don't care. I need lenses anyway. And so yeah, so got that out of the way. Then yesterday, I actually went driving. I haven't driven in 20 years and went driving. Couple of things. Number one, a stark reminder as to my actual size. This was a mid-size SUV, like a Durango or something. It was tricky. I had to recline the seat all the way back almost to just get the seatbelt on, and it was pretty snug, and I don't think I could comfortably drive like that for very long. I appreciate that there are, seatbelt extenders and whatnot, but I think at the rate I'm losing, I should be able to avoid having to get a seatbelt extender. I don't know, hopefully. I was going to take some lessons to refresh my driving, but now, the driving places around here, they all have like cars that are smallish and stuff, and it's tough. It's every so often I don't mind this slap in the face as to like, dude, you're this big, but not every day. I don't need one of those every day. I don't mind them once in a while, and I get those moments where I get all motivated and I decide to walk somewhere, and then suddenly halfway I'm like, locked up. But I don't need that every day. And I don't need it from other people that I don't know every day saying, sir, I just don't think you could fit in our vehicle or whatever. Like I've had enough of those in my life that I don't really need any more of those. So, I don't know what. I might still try to drive again the Durango. The folks I'm with here are good enough to let me try. I drove for about 20 minutes. It's starting to come back to me. It's going to take some practice. 20 years is a long time. But I did it, and I crossed it off the list, and I don't know what else I crossed off the list in the last week, but I got the learner's license. That was kind of a big deal, to be honest. That was a win for me because, I really wouldn't have even tried for about a year probably. And then a couple of weeks back, my friend Rod sat down with me and said, dude, there's courier drivers and stuff who are bigger than you who have their license. Like, you don't have to wait. Go, get it. So I did. I went and got the learners. So that's step one. And it was something. It was a moment for me anyway. So some weight loss. Went and watched a couple of the kids' hockey games, which was fun. They lost, but it was still fun. I'm really hoping to get some strength back in my legs and knees because I do kind of miss playing a bit of road hockey with the boys. And I just, I don't mind working through the pain. Like if it's just pain from the fact that I'm carrying an extra human being around on me, I can deal with that, and if I'm grinding my knees down to nothing, though, to dust, I do mind that. If I can avoid that and try and hit the pool a few more times and get a little bit more exercise, then I would rather do that for sure. So, nothing new. The relationship thing it sounds like it's really, I haven't even heard from her now in 5-6 days. So, it's really weird because the people I'm staying with are very close to her, and they don't hear from her either. So it's almost like she broke up with a bunch of people, not just me. Life's funny. But I'm not going to dwell on it. I dwell on it enough. That's one thing that I've got to figure out is I do not sleep well. I go to bed super early, go to bed at like 10, which I used to go to bed at 1. I go to bed at 10, and I always get up about 2 or 3, go to the bathroom, and then I'm up for like an hour. So I sleep, go till like 4, and then I try to get up at 7 with the kids so I can see them off and stuff like that. So I would rather have like a straight, 10 to 6 kind of sleep. I know enough about hormones and leptin and stuff that I have the feeling that if I, had a better sleep, it might help with the weight loss as well. But hey, at least this week I'm not complaining about the drop. I'm pleased. I take a picture of myself every 2 weeks. It's kind of weird because the picture 2 weeks ago, actually, my face looks a little thinner than it does now, but whatever. I know I've lost weight. I can feel it a little bit in my sweats. They're kind of looser now, and shirts fall on me a little bit easier stuff. So, I'm still, what did I pass? 463. I went right past that. That was kind of one of my goal numbers. Years ago, when I was doing low carb, I was on a website called Stella Style, which was based on George Stella, this low carb cooking dude. And his starting weight was 463. And so when I started losing weight and I hit 463, I kind of referred to it as the Stella line or something like that. So that was kind of one of my very medium goals, very short medium goals, was to pass that number. And I went right past it, right to 460. So now I am 16 pounds away from 444, which if you've seen any of my other videos, is one of my numbers that I really, really need to get to right away. And then after 444, I got 44 pounds to lose to get into the threes. And that's a lot. I appreciate that. But 444 is a very special number to me because in the past it really kind of was the door to when I started to feel semi-normal. I could sit in a booth at Chuck E. Cheese with the boys. I could squeeze into a movie theater seat. I could walk around the Safeway a little bit. Shoes fit. My ankles weren't so swollen. A lot of things. I don't know if it'll be the same this time when I hit it, but I will hit it. And I will be here to rah-rah about it because, you know, I've watched my first video a couple of times, and it isn't foreign to me. It's still me. I still remember how I felt. And I still feel that way sometimes now. Like, I still feel really down. I hate being alone. You know, it sucks. I really, you know, I let the relationship really sort of go in the wrong direction. But it sucks. Like, it's all the stuff that I'm doing right now, trying to learn to drive and go to the gym and buy my own groceries and become more helpful around the house. I do dishes every day, do my own laundry every day, stuff like that. I could have done all that with her, you know, and I could have made her life a lot easier too. And damn, you know, at some point I'm going to have to put this behind me and get the regrets behind me and stuff, but I'm just going to have to let it play out the way that it plays out. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope it wasn't too boring. So, to sum up, if you skip to the end, down 7 pounds this week. I'm at 460. I will record another video at the latest in another week. If not, maybe this week sometime. Maybe something good happens. Going to go driving again. Going to try and get to the gym, get a proper membership, and actually start doing recumbent bike and stuff like that. Yeah. And, you know, I'd had all these lofty goals when I got my learners last week. I was like, oh, I'm going to get a driver's license. I'm going to buy a car or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, by the end of June, I would love to be back at my place, especially if I had wheels. Because then, you know, I might still be lonely, but I'm mobile, you know, and that's a huge difference. So, anyways, thanks for watching. There's a person who comments every week, and I just wanted to let them know how much I appreciate it. Let me just take a quick Awakening HRT. I thank you. It's nice to know there's someone out there who's watching these as well, and I appreciate it. All your comments mean a lot to me. All right, I will talk to you in a week or even less. Have yourselves a great week, and let's wrap up March in style, and let's drop a little bit more weight here, and let's kick off the month of Easter below 460. Thanks for watching, and have a great week. Peace.